What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Oh, welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleazebomb. We are diving into the rankings today, and per your guys' request, this is just for the chat and for the questions that pop into all the videos that I pop in. We are going to look at defense and kickers first here, guys, because that is what the request has been, and I want to give you guys, what you guys offer in the chat and all the support you guys show me. If you guys have something you want first, I will drop that in there for you first. Now, as always, guys, make sure you tap that like and subscribe. All the support's appreciated. If you haven't checked out the Guys FF Patreon, it will be linked in the comments. It will be in the description. We cover everything fantasy football. Talk with us off stream. Look at trades. Look at your rosters. Set your lineups. Everything you guys need. Best ball, draft guides, everything like that for the half-season best balls that are coming up on drafters.com. And if you haven't signed up on drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. You can get all of our pick'ems, our best ball drafts, our DFS dailies, which my brother Big Draft Energy, who I hosted with, just got second in last week and won $750 right there. Solid. My guy knows his stuff. So let's dive into it, guys. And if you have any questions as well, you can drop them into the comments. It does not have to pertain to this video. I will try to get to them all. The comments are flooding across all my social medias like madness between Twitter, YouTube, the Discord, everything. I will try my best to get to them, guys, no matter what. That is one of my goals, to help you guys all year long. And let's take a look at the top 10 defenses and kickers plus one streamer each heading into week 2 here. All right, guys, so if you're new to the channel, this is the board. I will get it revamped. So the top 10 is going to be my kickers at the top in ballers tier and tier 1. Tier 4 and tier 5 will be the defenses, which are top 10 each down there. And in the middle will be my streamer for each one. I'll get the graphics made for next week. It's just been absolute mayhem. And now what I look for when I'm going into kickers and defenses, I look for high-powered offenses. Obviously, that's going to get you points no matter what, and you're hoping they don't score touchdowns. I'm also looking for division grunge matches and teams that give up a ton of field goals like the Carolina Panthers. So that's why I had Cam Little so high last week. That's why I don't have Cam Little that high this week. But let's dive into it here. I'll break it down. I'll show you the defenses, what they did last week as well too here. So obviously, kicker number 1. I mean, can you ever not put this guy up here? It's going to be Brandon Aubrey. Can kick from 70 yards. You get the Giants. The Cowboys are going to be on a full freaking redemption game here, and I think CeeDee Lamb is going to go absolutely bonkers in this game because he dropped the catches last week, and I think the Cowboys are going to run over the Giants, and I think you're going to see Jackson Dart the next week after that. Now, here you go. This is what I'm looking for, and Cameron Dicker is obviously one of the best kickers in football either way, but this is your Monday night division grunge match between the Raiders and Chargers. These are usually like 23-20, 2017, a lot of field goal attempts, very grimy division battle. These teams know each other very well. That's why I like this a ton here. Kicker number 3, Kaimi Fairbairn. This is what he does. You saw the Rams. They did not score a touchdown. All they did was kick field goals. He is always one of the top 5 kickers because they just cannot get it done in the run game, and the run game is going to be anemic all year long. We don't know if Joe Mixon's coming back. Nick Chubb, yeah, he looked okay with 60 yards, but still, this is going to be a pass-heavy attack, and they're going to struggle in the red zone, and Kaimi Fairbairn's always going to be in my top 5. Number 4, introducing a new kicker who didn't even have a picture with his team. Matt Prater. What do you look for? High-powered offense. Josh Allen. What did you see last versus the Ravens and Bills? Tons of points. Prater hitting buckets, getting them the win. He's in 12 points last week, and now you get the Jets this week. I mean, look what Boswell did to the Jets last week. You have to love Prater this week as a top 5 kicker. He shouldn't be on your waiver wire. You should pick him up now. Number 5, Will Lutz. It was a rough game for Denver against Tennessee in week 1. Now you get the Colts. It's going to be a different matchup here. You're going to be in a dome as well, which is something you look for as a kicker. And I think Denver is going to bounce back even without Evan Ingram in this game. I think Danny Dimes is in for a nightmare, and Will Lutz is going to be a great kicker option this week. Heading out of tier 2 here, this is going to be Tyler Loop, the rookie, the Ravens. This is what you want. High-powered offense. They let Justin Tucker go because he's like Deshaun Watson. And boom, Tyler Loop comes out, looks amazing. Lamar Jackson, they're going to get the ball down the field all the time. The defense is going to get stops all the time. If this guy's on your waiver wire, you're crazy. Go get him now. Number 7, Evan McPherson. And here you go. Last week, I thought they would kick more field goals against the Browns in a grunge game. They didn't score as many points as I thought, but they got the monkey off their back with the win. Now, that's what the Bengals need because they seem to just struggle in week 1 and early in the season, and I'm glad they got this dub. Now you get the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now you get more of a shootout game, a defense that's not in your face, pressuring Joe Burrow the whole time. I think Evan McPherson is going to be a 10-plus kicker point play this week. Number 8, Jake Bates. What I tell you guys week 1, man, Packers going to roll them over. It's going to be very ugly. It's exactly what happened. Now they head back home. They face the Bears. They get Ben Johnson in a revenge game coming back to Detroit. Do I think I'm hoping Jared Goff has a better look here. Me and Big Draft Energy, both the partner of my show, called the regression of the Lions big time, and you saw it. But now they're back at home where Jared Goff plays better. I think Jake Bates gets more attempts here. I'm hoping the Bears, can get Jalen Johnson and a couple of their guys back out there. They took major injuries in week 1 on the defense. So could be bad. They could move the ball down the field a lot and give Jake Bates some more opportunities. I like him at number 8. Number 9, Chris Boswell. And he's one of the best kickers in football. This is 100%. But you got Aaron Rodgers slinging touchdowns. They weren't even kicking that much. So, Chris Boswell, I'm dropping him down just because Aaron Rodgers in this offense looks like they're moving, guys. You get Seattle, you get him at home. Yeah, Seattle's defense is good, but they didn't look, that good versus the 49ers, who lost Kittle right away, and they still couldn't win the game. So I'm going to put Boswell at 9, and I'd move him up pending the matchup, but I think they're going to roll over Seattle here. Number 10, another guy, new name, new team. Thank God. I'm a 49er diehard, man. Thank God Jake Moody is gone. I swear to God, since the injury, the guy just had the yips. Like, since he made that tackle on the kickoff and he had that injury in his leg, he's never been the same. Now you get Eddie Pinheiro, one of the most accurate kickers there is. You may not have Brock Purdy in this game. Could be a absolute grunge match battle. The spread is 42.5. You're in a dome. You're going to have Christian McCaffrey. Kittle's going to be out. Juan Jennings may be out there. The Saints struggle. So I think every point in this game is going to count for the 49ers. And Eddie Pinheiro, I like as a kicker play a lot this week. My number 1 streamer play, and this leads right back to the beginning of the video. When you play the Panthers, you're going to get massive field goal attempts. This is just what happens. Cam Little, look at last week. He was a top 5 kicker. I had him as a top 5 kicker. He hit it again. If you need a streamer play, this is your play. Chad Ryland, he's probably available on all your wires. The Cardinals are going to pound the run with Connor and Benson. This is where Carolina struggles. They get down to the red zone. This is where Arizona struggles. They're going to kick a ton of field goals in this game. Chad Ryland, I think, is a great streamer play if you need. Now, on to the defensive side here. Is there really a question at number 1? It is the Denver Broncos. My goodness, they just lit up Cam Ward. I told you guys he was in for a nightmare game, and good God, they hammered him, man. Only allowing 12 points in the game. They crushed across the board, rushing and receiving. Allowed 21 rushing yards. It was just a Broncos show, man. And it's going to be the same thing for Danny Dimes here. And everyone's excited because Danny Dimes played the Dolphins and he put up 30 points and vultured 2 TDs. Welcome to the show here. Denver Broncos is going to light up Danny Dimes this week hard. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens, and you cannot look back at week 1 and see them dropping, 41 points that the Bills at. That is Josh Allen. Now you're getting at home. You get Joe Flacco and the Browns. And then the Browns have no run game at all. And they are pissed off that they lost that game to the Bills. They should not have blown that game. They're going to roll over the Browns in fashion here, and I think the Ravens defense is going to absolutely smash this week. Number 3, the surprising defense gave up no touchdowns in week 1 to CJ Stroud, and that's a better offense than the Tennessee Titans. Now they head out to Tennessee, which is, different for West Coast teams heading East Coast, which I thought the Raiders would lose to the freaking Patriots last week doing that, but they didn't. The Patriots looked terrible. So I'm going to throw the Rams at number 3 here. Their defensive line is going to pressure the hell out of Cam Ward, just like the Broncos did. It's another tough matchup for Cam Ward. God, they threw this guy into the freaking wolves, man, with the first 2 games. So I'm definitely throwing the Rams in the top 3 here. Number 4, the 49ers, they get Spencer Rattler. And the 49ers defense actually looked good with Robert Saleh versus Seattle Seahawks. Like I told you, that Seattle Seahawks offensive line was going to be trash, and they were going to get wrecked, and they got wrecked. Now you're going to get Spencer Rattler. The 49ers defense can be another great play here. Again, probably 8 to 12 points with a possible touchdown upside with how Rattler throws the ball. You got to like the Niners at number 4 this week. Number 5 is going to be the San Diego Chargers. And damn, they look like they are Super Bowl contenders after 1 week. I know that the Chiefs lost Xavier Worthy and, Rashee Rice isn't out there, but they looked the part. They get the Raiders. Monday Night Football, like I talked about with, the kicker prospect for, the kicker aspect with Cameron Dicker, this is going to be a grunge game. This is what the Raiders-Charger games are. They're never like shootouts, like 35-30. These are like 17-14, 20-17. This is what you want. They're going to get pressure. Ashton Genty struggled to run last week. He's going to struggle to run again this week. And I love the Chargers as a top 5 play. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Took them a little bit to get their feet wet in Monday Night Football. They struggled out the gates, and then they locked up Caleb Williams. You saw the defense get after people, and they force turnovers. This is what they do. They're going to be going up against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. Drake London already practicing. He's going to be banged up in this game. The Vikings are going to know that. They're going to target that shoulder with hits, so I'd watch out for Drake London in this game if you're starting him, because it seems kind of risky, but he is going to be out there. But this defense is a turnover machine, and they blitz at the highest rate in the NFL. They're always going to be a top 10 defense just because they can force turnovers like crazy. Number 7, the Dallas Cowboys. And Micah Parsons gone, and they actually held up pretty well against the Eagles. The game plan they brought out of too high was very nice. You know, Schottenheimer, he knew what he was doing in this game. Now you get the New York Giants. And Russell Wilson. How can you not like the Dallas Cowboys this week? The Commanders defense, which is not even close to good, held the Giants to 6 points. This is a great play if you need this week. I don't trust Russell Wilson at all. I cannot wait for his time to end and see Jackson Dart come in and light it up. Number 8, the Green Bay Packers, and they're almost becoming matchup proof. The only reason I have them low again, I had them at number 10 last week as well, going up against the Lions, and people thought I was crazy. Look what happened, man. This team, this is the best defense in football. They just have another tough matchup here against JD5. So as soon as the Packers, like next week, if the Packers are on your wire, go get them right now, because they have an insane matchup next week where they're going to feast. It's just a tough matchup, but they're still going to pressure. They're still going to hold them down. This defense is nasty. It's just they're going up against Jaden Daniels. That's the only reason I have them at 8. Number 9, got to target the Cardinals. You saw, and I missed big time. I thought the Panthers-Jags game would be points flying galore. Bryce Young had another absolute stinker of a start. I mean, he, in all of his starts, every single season in week 1, he's been the worst quarterback in NFL history. So I'm hoping that they could bounce back. But as it looks right now, you got to like the start of the Arizona Cardinals defense at home because of how Bryce Young and the freaking Panthers offense look terrible. So you've got to like them in the top 10 this week. Number 10, the Steelers, and I went back and forth with this one, and I'll tell you why I put them at 10, and I had them really high, and I thought the Jets-Steelers game, pretty much like everyone on the planet, would be a grunge battle, and it ended up being a shootout. So that was crazy. But you get in the Seahawks at home, and the Seahawks, what have I said all year long? Their offensive line is very bad. They're going to get pressured. Sam Darnold, the run game, that's Clint Kubiak's special. The passing game, outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba, there was 2 receptions from other receivers. That is it. The Seattle Seahawks offense looks very, very bad, and you're going into the steel curtain here. You know, they did give up a lot of points to the Jets, but that's a rushing quarterback in Justin Fields. It's a different type. Sam Darnold's a statue, and that line sucks. It could be an absolute smash play for the Steelers, but I'm just putting them down at 10 because they did give up a ton of points to the Jets. Now, if you need a streamer play, this is diving deep here, folks. The Indianapolis Colts are going to be my streamer play of the week. They are going to be at home. You are getting the Denver Broncos, who did struggle versus the Titans offensively, and they were at home versus the Titans as well. And now it looks like Evan Ingram may be out. We don't have the official update yet, so make sure you're checking on that. But you got to like this matchup here. The Colts can get pressure. The Colts can cover. And when your only superstar out there is Cortland Sutton, or your only star, I'm not going to say superstar for Cortland Sutton, your only star kind of player out there is Cortland Sutton in the receiving game, this could be a nice sneaky play for the Colts here at home. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode, whether you're listening on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. I can't thank you guys enough. Make sure you tap that like, hit that subscription button on the way out. I'll be giving you fantasy football content to dominate all year long. Again, if you guys haven't checked out the Discord or signed up on drafters.com using promo code SLEAZE, make sure you do that so you can draft with us and do DFS and pickups with us all year long. And my next videos will be quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight end. I am going to try to get them all out today. It is going to be busy. I hope I get it done. If not, it will be out tomorrow before kickoff with my smash starts and my sleeper plays as well, guys. Thank you guys for listening, man. Sleazebomb out. Hope to catch you guys in the next episode.